We have blamed the devil for a lot of things he didn't do. We have prayed against him. We have declared war on him. We have casted him out. We have rebuked him. And some of that, yes, has been right and necessary. But I want to have an honest conversation with you, because I believe some of the things that are holding you back is simpler than you can ever imagine. And until that thing is named, the problem cannot be solved. You'll be fighting an enemy that does not exist. Welcome back to the Destiny Table. I'm Pastor Obinna Nkemjika, and here is the second series of why you are still waiting on your destiny. In the first episode, I told you that destiny is development. In other words, it's not just a destination, it's a development. It goes in phases, and I was able to give you 3 phases that would help you. The gaps, and the gap between what you know, what you carry, and how you actually actualize them. But today, I want to do something different. I want to name exactly what the problem is. The enemy of your destiny is not always a demon somewhere. The enemy of your destiny is not always a demon somewhere. Sometimes, the enemy of your destiny is simply ignorance. We are not fighting an enemy, so to say, like we have been made to believe, particularly from the African climb. We have been made to believe that there is an enemy holding us somewhere, and most of the time, this so-called enemy is nothing mystic, very simple, and it's simply ignorance. Now, before you switch off, I'm not saying spiritual warfare is not real. I'm not saying the devil does not fight people. He absolutely does. But here is what I've observed in my years of ministry. I've counseled a lot of people, and most of the challenges is not the fact that there is a devil somewhere. Many believers pray, they fast, they attend services, they do everything according to scriptures. They do all the warfare prayer, turn to the north, turn to the south. They do all manner of prayers. But one thing they have failed to tackle is the plague of ignorance. So today, I want to look at a different diagnosis, one that comes straight from the mouth of God. So I want to look at it in a different way today. I want to look at it from God's mouth. What the issue is that you have not named, and you keep fighting an enemy that does not exist. I've seen in my time in ministry where you hold services and you target fighting the enemy against my destiny. And many people come with the intention to fight the devil out. And in my 16 years of ministry, I've come to understand that after such services, you still find so many people in same positions, struggling with the same thing they came to pray. And I asked myself, was it that God didn't answer? What was the problem? Was it that God didn't answer their prayers? No, God answered their prayer. In fact, there was no need for that prayer at first. So it wasn't even as if there was a problem. All right, so I want to name it. I want to help you out at this point. The Bible says in Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, that my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So I want you to notice something about this verse. The Bible says there, my people. So this is talking to God's children, because I'm specific about the believers who are still struggling. And you know what I'm talking about. I was once there. Even as a pastor, I struggled financially at some point. At some point, I second-guessed what I'm doing. Is it the right thing? All right, because I was not seeing the results. And this is what I want to help you out from. I want you to understand there that the Bible says there that my people, these people have prayed, these people have waited, these people have exercised their faith, but yet something is wrong. What God is saying, that my people, not the world. That means the world itself succeeds by knowledge, by what they know. But God's people don't know how to know. And because God's people don't know how to know, what happens is that they remain on the same spot, waiting for some kind of miracle somewhere that will make their destiny become a reality. So this is the word to covenant people, not the world. My people, he says, are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So next time you begin to feel that there is a devil somewhere, ask yourself this important question, which is, do I know enough to break through this situation? Do I know enough to scale through this situation? Do I know enough to solve my problem? Remember, there are many things God kept around you to help you solve that problem. Yes, he said, call upon me and I will show you. So one thing that is missing is knowledge. Many people are wallowing in ignorance and fighting a devil or a demon that is actually not even anywhere around them. And I believe that today you will be set free from that. Let me say this very important word. You cannot war your way out of challenges. You cannot war your way into fulfillment of destiny. The only way you war your way out is getting the right knowledge. Isaiah chapter 5 verse 13 said, my people are gone into captivity. Where knowledge is absent, captivity is present. So what you want to do is, do I really know what I'm doing? And so I want to break it down in 3 knowledge gaps that kills destiny. What are these knowledge gaps that kills destiny? Number 1 amongst them is the knowledge of yourself. Many people don't even know themselves. Many years ago, I used to go on skin court. I take everything down. Yeah, I was not looking that ugly here, but I was not looking. But then at some point I discovered I was just trying to be or emulate someone. I was trying to be like someone. I was trying to speak like someone. The first thing that came to me, who am I? What fits me? What works for me? Knowing yourself is the first point of knowledge. Because when you know yourself, then you get to know what God has deposited in you. And that was when I changed my hairstyle. The moment I realized I have a different head shape, I have a different face, I couldn't be keeping the hairstyle of someone that as minute as that could be. Or you might say it's insignificant. But it begins from there. How do you dress? You don't even know yourself. And when you don't know yourself, you can't know what to pursue. When you don't know yourself, you can't know what to do. You can't even know what you are made for. You can't even understand or even pursue. You see, you second guess yourself. So you cannot step into a destiny, that fulfillment of destiny, if you don't know who you are. Number 2 knowledge gap is knowing God, the God knowledge. Daniel 11:32 says, they that do know their God, they shall be strong and they shall do exploit. The God you don't know, the God will not be revealed to you. You see, until you know God, you'll be limited. One thing I've understood about God is, it's only God that tells you there is still a future for you. I mean, to man and to the world, there is a limit. But to God, when you think you have achieved, God opens up another path for you. And so, knowing Him is the only way you can arrive at that destiny that He has prepared for you. You must strive to know the God, your manufacturer. You cannot understand much of an assignment until you understand the mind of the manufacturer. And God is calling us to know Him, because then when you know Him, you're able to know His mind concerning the product, which is you, that He has made. Now you know yourself, but then when you know God, you know His mind. When you know His mind, it will be easier for you to know how He wants you to do what you want to do. And I believe that that becomes the recovery of any man out there who is currently going through hard times and in stagnation and struggling to struggling and waiting for destiny to be fulfilled while it is not. The gap number 3 is domain knowledge. Take note. The gap number 1 is self-knowledge. The gap number 2 is God knowledge. And the gap number 3 is domain knowledge. What is domain? Your jurisdiction. Where you are called into. Where you are positioned to reign. How well do you know it? If you don't know your domain, you'd find yourself in another person's domain. And until you find your domain, you can't find your kingdom. You can't be a king in another man's domain. And what is happening to a lot of people is that because they do not know their domain, they are now slaves in another person's domain. Anytime you find yourself where God has not assigned you to, what happens is you become a slave in another person's domain, while the person becomes a king in his domain. When you know your domain and your jurisdiction, that's when you will know the kind of skill, the kind of preparation you need to make. For instance, I know that I'm a pastor, no doubt. But the question is, where is my domain? And I began to ask those questions. And when I found out, competition died. I was no longer running a pseudo vision. I was no longer running an assignment that does not belong to me. I ran my own assignment. Because I understood my domain, I understood my area. The Bible also says that every man shall abide in the area wherein he is called. When you find your domain, you begin to find the skills required in that domain. Remember, knowing yourself, knowing God, and knowing your domain. Point number 3, access is available, which many people don't know. They think they have to do something mysterious to gain access. The God who created you and made you also has made available a domain, just like I said earlier. The fish was made after the water. There is provision before the product. So for you as a product to be alive, to be in existence, it means that what you would need has already been made. So the only way to access it now is preparing for it. The Bible also said an heir, as long as he's a child, stays under tutelage. He can't serve. He will learn under servants until he's matured enough. That is when he can now begin to reign. What am I saying? I'm saying that although you have a domain, although you have a place, and you begin to know these things, there is still another level. Develop yourself, grow the required skills, get the wisdom required to run that vision. No matter how great a vision is, no matter how great your destiny is, the absence of wisdom will crush the destiny. And let me say this to believers: attending church is not the same as intentional growth. I'm a pastor, but there are many skills that God has blessed me with. However, it didn't just come from a dream. No, I took out time to build it. One thing I told myself many years ago, I told myself the truth. I said to myself, pastors always claim they are busy. Am I really busy? Do I counsel people in the night? Do I counsel people all the time? And I realized that that's just a pseudo voice that makes you redundant. They are not truly working, but claim they are busy, and everybody says, hey, pastor is busy, pastor is busy, pastor is busy. Like people tell you too. Oh, I didn't call you because you are busy. And you feel, wow, this person reveres me. Let me say this. It's not reverence. It's killing you. Assess yourself. Are you truly busy? I assessed myself, and I found out that when I close from work, I basically sit down. What do I do after then? Then I began to fill up my time with knowledge and skill. I registered for different online programs, haven't discovered myself. All right? And I began to build those skills gradually, step by step and consistently. And the same thing I'm telling you now. You are not just waiting for another door to open. The door is open and waiting for you to be prepared. The door is open, waiting for a prepared person. And you are back there, waiting for a door to open. So, what you need at this point is, based on the fact that you now know yourself, you know God, you know your manufacturer, you know his intent and intention, you know your domain, you know the skill. Now take action. Begin to build it gradually, step by step, day after day, and consistently so. Before we close today, I want to give you something important to do. Not next week, not next month, I mean now. Of the 3 levels of knowledge that we have discussed, that I've shared with you, which one are you currently doing? And which one do you feel that when you do that, your life will move forward? Don't wait. Just one step at a time. Begin to work at it. So now listen. It's clear that the devil is not our problem. It's clear that we are not fighting a demon somewhere who's trying to stop our destiny. It's clear also that there's no devil holding us. It is lack of knowledge. We don't have the required knowledge to break through, to get to the next level. And that's what I do. By privilege, I've been pastoring for the past 16 years. And by the grace of God, I pastored under a particular ministry, Winners Chapel to be precise, for 15 years. And after which, God considered me fit, privileged to run a mandate for him. And I'm running on this assignment under Renewed Mind of Christ Assembly as the privileged lead pastor. So let me leave you with this. The devil is real. Spiritual warfare is real. But more real is the fact that people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And so, the most important thing you can do for your destiny right now is to be a person of knowledge. Know yourself, know God, and know your domain. Don't be a casual believer with a great destiny. It does not match. And I'm here to help you. Like I said, do well to share this episode. Episode 3 will move to a better framework. Now we'll not be discussing the problem anymore. We are moving to a framework on how you can move from that place of struggle to a place of working at your destiny and bringing it to fulfillment. I'll see you on episode 3. Until then, please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like this.